Pete Moore from PCMGuns, and I must have picked the worst day in the world to do a scope review because it's tipping down outside. It's almost like biblical proportions, Noah's Ark and all that. Anyway, so we're inside, we persevere. I've got a new scope in here from the imported Edgar brothers, Zero Compromise Optics, which are a reasonably new name to me. They've been around for a bit, and their whole mission statement is they purport to make one of the best scopes in the world, which is quite a tall order when you think about the opposition. Essentially, ZCO make 3 tactical precision type scopes, 1 hunting scope, and with another hunting scope to come. So the product range is very small. ZCO are a sort of conglomerate. Scopes are manufactured and assembled in Austria using shot glass, which is some of the best glass you can get. And so I thought we'd look at this beast, because the market for this sort of scope is precision rifle, obviously sniper and tactical in the real world use. So it's big mag, fat body tube, 34mm, 36mm, that sort of thing. MRAD, MOA, lots of different reticle choices, and it's for punching out long distance if you need to. So let's have a look. The scope comes with a 1-piece neoprene cover, and as you can see, it's quite a beast. I've got it on my T1X, so I don't really have tactical rifles, and this is probably the only thing I've got that suits the rifle in terms of mounting it. Obviously you wouldn't put a 5-27x56 on a 2.2, or you might, I don't know, but I certainly wouldn't, but it's just the vehicle so we can look at it. It's what I call the generic super scope. There's a number of them about, and I picked 4 names that you probably recognise if you're a serious long-range rifle shooter. Price is the first thing. Recommended retail for the importers is £4,300, which is a lot of wonga. And you get the old adage where you say, if you're going to buy a rifle scope, make sure it costs twice as much as a rifle. Vortex, great company. They offer their Razor HT Gen 2 4.5-27x56 with a Horus reticle costs you 3,049 quid, which for that sort of optic is not too bad at all. And Vortex have made a great name for themselves. Then you get the daddy of the bunch, Smith & Bender PM2 3-27x56 high power, and that's a cool £4,500. Carley's, who are another great company, their K328i, which is a 3-28x56 again, DLR is £3,400. Night Force 80 ACR 5-25x56, 3,500, and as I said, the ZCO 527 is a quoted 4,300, but I've seen it at 3,790, and I've even seen it at about 3,400. But how well does it work? So they've got shot glass, so that's a good start. The Austrians are making it, and apparently it's all made in Austria, parts manufactured, and the Austrians and the Americans, because ZCO are an American company, they make some scopes in Austria and some scopes in the US. I imagine that the US facility deals with the US and Austria deals with the rest of the world. I've spoken to a few people who've used them, some for long range hunting, some for precision long range shooting, and the general view is they are very, very good. Okay, let's have a look then. Okay, let's get the boring stuff out of the way first. So the spec is 5-27 with a 56mm objective. Exit pupil is 10.47 to 2.1. Field of view, 100 metres is 7 and 1.5 between the 2 magnification changes. Parallax adjustment is 25 to infinity. You can see the drum is marked quite nicely. Eye relief 90mm. Light transmission 92, which is pretty good. It's in the first focal plane. Main tube diameter is 36, which means it's a chunky boy, as you can see. We'll see here. Length is 387mm, which is about 15 or so inches, and weight is 1,122 grams, which is about 2.4 pounds. So I say, with the mount on gun, you're looking at probably the thick end of £3 worth of scope, which is a chunk of scope. This is the sort of scope you would fit on a long range rifle, you know, like something like a Savage, Impulse, that sort of thing. Impressive too, you get the choice of MOA, as in minute of angle, or M-Radian reticles and adjustments. This is M-Radian, and it offers a rather good elevation adjustment of 35 mil radian and 20 in wind. Click values are 0.1 of an MRAD, so 1/10 of an MRAD basically, and the drum is nicely marked. It's good for 4 meters water depth, and then again I don't think I'll be shooting this under 4 meters of water. The illumination colour, you get a choice of red or green, which is also, you can adjust it inside. And it also has a vertical pillar that rises as you turn the scopes. It's got nearly 4 full rotations, and in competitions, happened to me, you can get lost elevation. You might think you're in like the second turn and you're not, and if you're not paying attention, then you could be shooting low or high. And with this, again, this plunger that comes up will show you, it gives you an indication of where you are.
Scope, we have a locking focus ring. So basically, that rotates to get your focus, and this lock ring, once it's set, just locks it in. It's quite an old school. Most scopes these days tend to use fast focus, which means it's not locked, but it's firm. So in some ways, perhaps for a tactical scope, once you're locked in, it's a better idea. Magnification, say, goes from 5 to 27. It's firm, which is good. And you can see it's got these angled slots on it for grip. And it comes with a moulded in dialing fin. Surprisingly, for a modern scope, it doesn't offer a throw lever, which is basically an extension that makes it easier to dial quickly. That's, to me, is a little point against it, because it's quite a useful thing, a throw lever. Certainly on a scope like this, when you're long range in it and you're playing around with your magnification. But that's how they make it. Body tube is 36 mil, so it's pretty chunky. And in the spur mount, as you can see, the width of these rings is probably an inch or just over. You don't get a lot of lateral forward and back movement with it. The base is a Picatinny style. It has clamps front and rear, but it only has one lug to go into the actual Picatinny slots. However, it clamps on, and these are very secure. Windage, and typically of a tactical type scope, it's split. See here, it's 7 to 7, and that goes round. Once you pull it out to unlock it, so 0 in the middle, so you've got 7 MRAD right, 7 MRAD left, which is a good idea because it's easy enough to get lost in windage occasionally. This turret does not lift up to unlock, but if you listen to it and look at it, click values are very firm, good audible clicks, so no problem in dialing in. And if you look here, I'll just wind this down. You see where I'm pointing here, 0. There's a little poster. If you watch, I just wind it up. We'll come back round to 0 again. And I think you can see this is starting to rise. And it's quite well risen there. See here, each milrad intersection shows 3 numbers with it. So 0 is where you set your 0 basically, and then second rotation would start with 10 and third rotation would start with 20. So again, in conjunction with this, it's a clever idea. So you get basically here, you get 0.1 mil graduations, 10 obviously because it's MRAD, and there's a lot of turns and a lot of clicks going on, which is very good. You can also put a 0 stop on this. It's in the instruction how to do it. Typically on the left of the saddle is the parallax control. Illumination is combined, which is not unusual, which is a straight drum that rotates round. The scope offers red or green illumination, and I've taken the battery off and the cover out. And if you look at the pen, that top bit there gives you red or green selection, and a bottom section which is called AIM, Automatic Illumination Management. Whether you think red or green is best, I don't know, but illumination doesn't blow the reticle out at all. At maximum mag and maximum illumination, it's still quite a crisp reticle. The spur mount sensor is very secure, a sort of serious mount for a serious optic. If you're on a high caliber like 338 lat mag, 50 cal, then this mount is meaty enough to take all the kicks. If you notice here, you've got like a stud here, which is the rear hook for a mirage band on your rifle, which again is important for long range shooting when things start to get hot. And equally nice, which I do really like, is the fact you've got a flip out level bubble. I'll just move this around. You can probably see it better there.
Okay, that's really the scope. This model, the 527, comes with I think 5 or 6 reticle options. I'll put the images in the video. If you like MOA or you prefer mil rating, it's there in many options. So, I haven't had a chance to shoot this. It's just really look at it and I'll talk about the spec because it's still ticking down. It's ticking down yesterday and there's no way I can get out when it's like this and I haven't got the scope for long. That's neither here nor there. But it's a good scope. From what I've seen, optical quality is excellent. From the little chance I had to get outside and push the range, you can zero in, it's nice and crisp, everything. And like most of these scopes, you can push it to 1,000 plus, given your caliber. Not a big problem. The price first shocked me, £4,300 for a company that, though they've been around a bit, they haven't been around as long as Vortex, Schmidt, Carley's, that sort of thing. And so you're always a little bit dubious of high prices, but looking at the real-time prices from gun shops, 3,700, 3,400, that sort of thing, then it suddenly makes more sense. Because say you've got, the cheapest is the Vortex at 3,049, which is very good, and then the Carley's is 3.4, Night Force 80 ACR is 350, so then you're in that sort of ballpark, and perhaps, though it's expensive, but then again, these days everything's expensive, makes the choice a bit easier, because a lot of people go, I'm not paying £4,300 for a scope that I don't really know much about, or don't really know the manufacturer. This puts it in the running and perhaps makes people think, well, it's a bit more expensive this and not expensive that, so perhaps it's worth a look. And I would have liked to have seen a throw lever, optional throw lever, because they're very useful. And I'm still a bit confused about the fact that it says that both turrets are lift to unlock, and this one doesn't do it. It's not a big deal, but if I was having a scope with one turret that lifts to unlock, it would be elevation, not windage. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, tell your friends. Want to speak to me, it's the usual, pmoore.shootingsports@gmail.com. And I will see you again soon with more fun stuff. So, take care, shoot straight, be safe. Catch you later.